Hi, I just stopped at a balsam tree here. How do we know it's a balsam tree? It's an evergreen. You'll see the green needles, but at the same time with the bark, you'll see the blisters on the bark. Now what I've done is I've taken a bunch of these branches and I've started at the end of the branches, worked my way up to about baby finger size. And I've collected them into a bundle like this. This is my Tinder and my Kindling. So this is good to get the fire started. And it's dense right now, so I can open it up and add a few pieces to it to make it ignite a little bit better. It's been raining very hard last night, so everything here is wet, but we're still going to make it work. So all this came from stuff like this. So now you can hear it's raining a little bit. It's only going to help with wanting to get a fire going. But because it's wet, sometimes you need something to get the temperature up a little bit more. If it wasn't raining, I might use a couple other things. Today, because we have birch in our area, and this is the white birch, because this is up really high, it means that it's farther from the ground and it's going to be a lot drier. There's going to be more breeze coming through the bush, which is actually going to dry this. So I'm going to take some of this birch, going to add it to this pile and get our little fire going. Okay, one other thing I like to do is, because the ground is wet, everything is wet today because it rained pretty hard, is what I'd like to do is I'm going to get myself a couple of pieces of this bark that I'm going to put underneath this. And that's going to ensure that the damp that's on the ground doesn't end up on my tinder. So I can put this on top of here. I can make sure that if I have some dry pieces here, they don't get wet because of the ground. So I'm making the fire on top of this. So the poplar is a good little tree for doing this. Good little trick. So even on a wet day like it is today, it's been raining quite a bit last night and it's starting to rain again. Everything is pretty much soaked. So I've got something to get me off the ground. I'm going to use my flint and steel and try to get this fire going. Now some of these wet pieces will dry because the heat at the top of the flame is the hottest part. So this is a little bit of a drying stage. It takes a little bit of heat away from the fire, but there's still enough heat in there to dry it out. Then I'll take a couple of these dry pieces on top. Which will add to our fire. Then this is going to be my main wood. It needs a little chance to dry at the same time. So I'll put it on here. And then we have a fire. So the branches that we collected are wet because it's been raining all night, but they're aerated enough because they're loose in there. They're easy to burn as tinder. They're going to get up to temperature pretty fast, as we can see. The birch is wet, but it'll start a fire. Tinder is burning nicely. The bigger wood is burning nicely, and all the while I've got lots of air around it for good combustion. So the fire triangle, oxygen, fire, and fuel. And at the same time, there's a lot of bugs out here today. This smoky fire is going to be great to get rid of the bugs. So I picked the balsam tree originally because it's got a lot of resin in it. The resin is good. It's like a little oil, which is going to take wet wood and help it to burn better. So all this in combination makes me a fire to keep the bugs away on a rainy day.